Can this process be used while the battery is in service called hot live?
In some cases, yes. It takes longer. Very, very, let's say, okay, let me back up. If you were to just go ahead and put a catalyst in, and you can get to the vent, and you do it in the first 3 or 4 years, no problem. This is not the right one, but take the other vent out, put the new one in.
Snap, squirt, pop.
Yep, or screw in, depends on what
Yeah.
manufacturer. Same thing. And there's little covers on there, spin, you got a tool, you pop that cover. And they have that on there, so not just every fool, including me, can walk over and take it out and look in there.
right.
Oh, look at it, it's dry, let's fill it. They used to do that. That's one of the problems. The guys that were maintaining them at the phone companies, hey, that thing's empty. So they'd
Like
fill
it's
them up.
washer fluid in your car or something.
Yeah. And so you can do it online without doing anything. But to do the IOVR Plus, where we have to get this high rate charge in there, in most of the cases you need it offline because we're going to put voltages through these cells that your other equipment isn't going to like very much of it.
Right.
Actually, it probably won't work. So your other equipment, ours won't work. But so you have to take it offline. You can go into a much more lengthy process and add dollars where you could go in and sectionalize boost charge. But instead of being like a 24-hour day, like you come in tonight and you finish it up tomorrow night, you might do one a week, whatever. But you can be done online. And you can even add water online. I guess I'd have to. That'd be almost like a judgment call when you're doing it.
But telecom operations, I mean, those are people with guns to their heads in terms of service.
Yep.
And so whether or not you can take a string offline depends on how much other capacity
Yep.
you still have in the plant. Because if you hit in the previous video, we did a thing about coup de foie,
Yep.
and so if your coup de foie dip goes too deep, your equipment's going to shut down at
That's
under
right, yep.
voltage, and that's a no-no.
Yep.
So you may have to take a string offline, depending on what is there. You may be able to do that with impunity, or
Yep.
you may have to bring in
Temps,
some of the
which we've
portable
done.
capacity and
Yep.
put it on the bus.
Yep, we've had to do that. And that thing you mentioned about coup de foie is very interesting because the higher that internal resistance, the quicker that's going, farther deeper that's going to go.
Yeah.
So to make your battery as resilient to that or whatever, it won't go as deep. The more properly saturated you can keep these, that coup de foie won't have as much effect. So I guess maybe in theory you could go in and just, add water to them and help the coup de foie before you even
I
went
think
on
coup
to
de
take it.
foie is actually how this whole thing started because Dan
Yeah,
brought it up
yeah.
and I asked
Oh,
what
really?
it was and that's how we got to you.
Oh,